Good day everyone, I am Giselle Bidaydigan from Bete FSM. Today we're going to discuss about learning disabilities. What is learning disabilities? It is referred to a group of neurological disorders that affect a person's ability to acquire, process, store, and responding to information. These abilities can impact various areas of learning such as reading, writing, math, and reasoning skills. Next is having trouble processing information, organizing information, applying information. Of learning disabilities. First is dyslexia, a language and reading disability. Is a reading disorder in which it is difficult to separate a word from a group of words or a few letters within a word. Second is dyscalculia, problems with arithmetic and math concept. Dyscalculia is a broad term of severe mathematical difficulties. This includes all sorts of mathematical problems ranging from inability to understand the meaning of numbers to inability to apply mathematical to solve problems. Next is dysgraphia, a writing disorder resulting in illegibility. It refers to a learning disability characterized by difficulties in writing things such as writing, typing, and spelling. Next is dysphagia, problems with motor coordination. The Dysphagia Foundation defined this condition is form of development coordination disorder or DCD that affects small or large motor coordination in children, even adults. Next is central auditory processing, or difficulty processing and remembering language-related tasks. The central auditory processing disorder is a type of learning disabilities refer to several disorders that can affect the acquisition, organization, maintenance, understanding, or use of verbal or nonverbal information. Next is nonverbal learning disorders. This a trouble with nonverbal cues, e.g. body language, poor coordination, or clumsy. It is a term that refers to challenge with a specific group of skills. These skills aren't language based like reading and writing use. They're nonverbal skills and they include motor, visual, spatial, and social skills. Next is visual perceptual or motor visual deficit. It's a reversed letters cannot copy accurately. Lastly is language disorder or aphasia and dysphasia. Trouble understanding spoken language for reading comprehension. Language disorder is it affects how you speak and understand language. People with aphasia might have trouble putting the right words together in a sentence, understanding what others say, and reading and writing. As causes or presumed causes of learning disabilities. No real causes might be caused by hereditary, teratogenic, medical, and environmental. So first is hereditary. These are the conditions in which genetic change are almost exclusively responsible for causing the condition. Second is teratogenic. Teratogenic disorder occur when the baby is exposed to substances during pregnancy that cause abnormalities, otherwise known as teratogens. Third is medical. A medical disorder is a relatively distinct condition resulting from an organismic dysfunction in which it is fully developed or extreme form is directly and intrinsically associated with distress, disability, or certain other associated types of disadvantage. Last is environmental. This can be occur when you are exposed to toxins or substance in the environment that make you sick. Yes, and Incident rates. Estimated that 15% of the US population, 6% to 8% of school-aged population.
Hi everyone, my name is Almi Danius, DTVT Ed FSM 3D. Today, I am going to continue this topic. First, does my students have ADD or ADHD? So when we say ADD, it's about attention deficit disorder. It is excessive difficulties with concentration of our students. And also ADHD, it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and it is excessive impulsiveness of our students and also our children. Does my students have ADD or ADHD? First is hyperactive, impulsive, fidgety, inattentive, disorganized, unreasonable emotional negativity, emotional outbursts, frustrations over minor issues, bedwetting, and also the all characteristic may vary with age. And those are the signs that our students or children have attention deficit disorder or hyperactivity disorder. So, let's go to approaches to diagnose attention deficit disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. First, we have evaluate students' behavior, and the second is continuous performance test, and the third is diagnosis should be based on multiple pieces of information and observation to our children and students. So let's go to approaches used to diagnose dyslexia. So when we say dyslexia, it is ability or learning difficulty that primarily affects the skills involved in accurately and accurate and influent word reading and spelling of our students and children. So first, we have only after students has read difficulties can dyslexia be diagnosed. And dyslexia may have biological roots. It is a dyslexia result from individual differences in the parts of the brain that enable reading. It tends to run in families. Dyslexia appears to be linked to certain genes that affect now brain processes and reading and language. And the third is psychological testing can determine if a child has dyslexia. So it is an observation of reading, speaking during the testing process and the specific battery of assessment and also the reading. So let's go the characteristic of learning disabilities. First is the most student exhibit and even areas of ability. The second is student especially normal. And the third is average or above average intelligence. The fourth is commonly found in gen ed classes, dyslexia and EDD, attention deficit disorder, and ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And also, many learning disabilities need to medically diagnose. We need to find out that if there is a dyslexia or another problem of our students or children, we need to consult to our doctor or psychologist to medically give treatment of this kind of disorder.
Does my student have dyslexia? So again, dyslexia means a learning difficulty that primarily affects the skills involved in accurate and fluent word reading and spelling. A teacher can look for certain characteristics in a student that may indicate dyslexia. Here are some signs to observe in relation to reading, writing, and number sequencing. So for reading characteristics, number one, we have difficulty with phonic awareness. The student may struggle to identify and manipulate individual sounds in words. Number two, poor decoding skills. They may have difficulty sounding out unfamiliar words or recognizing common sight words. Number three is slow reading speed. The student may read at a slower pace and compared to their peers. Number four, inaccurate reading. They may make frequent errors when reading aloud, such as skipping words or substituting similar looking words. Number five, poor reading comprehension. Despite being able to read the words, they may struggle to understand the meaning of the text. We have so for writing characteristics, number one, we have spelling difficulties. The student may have persistent spelling errors, including inconsistent spelling patterns and phonetic mistakes. Number two, poor handwriting. They may struggle with letter formation, spacing, and overall legibility. Number three, difficulty with written expression. They may have trouble recognizing their thoughts and expressing ideas in writing. For numbers sequencing, number one, we have difficulty with number recognition. The student may struggle to identify and name numbers accurately. Number two, challenges with number sequencing. They may have difficulty understanding and remembering the correct order of numbers. Number three, inconsistent math skills. They may perform well in a certain math concepts but struggle with others, especially those involving sequencing or multi-step processes. So it is important to note that these characteristics alone do not confirm dyslexia, but they can be indicators for further assessments. If a teacher suspects a student may have dyslexia, it is recommended to refer the students to a specialist, such as learning support teacher or educational psychologist, for comprehensive education. So, celebrities with dyslexia. We have Tom Cruise, Walt Disney, Henry, the Fonz, Winkler, Magic Johnson. For celebrities with ADD, ADHD, we have T. Pennington, Ellen DeGeneres, Tracy Gold. And for instructional ideas, assistance with audio and visual aspects of learning. Teachers may find the following helpful. Number one, repeat and summarize oral lecture notes and give students written versions of the key points. Teachers assure that students with learning disabilities will repeat the lesson so that the students will be able to understand the lecture, and teachers should give a summarization oral to what lecture all about. In addition, teacher also should provide or give written key points so that the students can visually see it and familiar the key points of by seeing it. Number two, verbalize what is being written on the chalkboard and read aloud material contained in handouts. Teachers should read out loud what is written on the chalkboard so that the students will be able to hear and familiar the sounds of the words, how to pronounce it, and understand it well. Number three, send students a copy of book list for upcoming semester, school year, so that the students can get a jump on the reading assignments. So in order students with disabilities can quickly understand the lesson, a teacher should provide a copy of readings or something module that can access the students. Assistance during assessments. The teacher may wish to, number one, choose an alternate exam site away from the general education classroom. Ensure that this alternate local is free from auditory and visual distractors. So during the assessment of those students with LD, a teacher should look for a site where he or she could conduct the assessment in peaceful way, where there is no distraction, so that the students could focus on their assessments taken. Number three, avoid confusing or complicated language and or consider a substitute exam assessment. When conducting an assessment, a teacher should avoid including words that is complicated to understand. Instead, teachers should use familiar words so that the students could avoid confusion. Also, when making an assignment or assessments or exams, teachers might create some entertaining and eye-catchy to the students so they will enjoy taking the assessments. They can learn while having fun. Number 4, allow students extra time to complete exams assignment, especially if there are unique demands regarding reading and writing skills. So taking an assessment, teachers should understand that students with LD should have need more time, especially when taking an exams, because they might having a difficulty in reading and writing the answers. Additional instructional ideas. Teachers should supporting learning with visuals, stressing step-by-step instructions. In order students with LD can literally understand well the lecture, teachers' instructional ideas could apply. A teacher should support students with visuals, giving them step-by-step instructions so that they get it understand. For students with ADHD, teachers should give only one assignment at a time. To give care for students with ADHD, it is important that a teacher should only give one assignment at a time so that students with ADHD could be answered the assignment well. Giving only one assignment can help students to not be stressed and face some difficulty.
So again, hello everyone. I am Sainat Norsali from BTL Ed Home Economics, and we will gonna continue to discuss about the other assistive technology. So we as a future teacher or as a teachers, we are allowed to we are allowed students to use calculators during math when the goals is concept attainment. Then 2 is allow students to tape record lectures and or tape notes for students. Then 3 is allow students who cannot speak clearly to use a speech synthesizer. So this three is we are allowing them to use this kind of technology since they are having a learning disability in which nahihirapan sila mag-come up ng lesson ng katulad sa isang normal lamang na bata in which walang learning disabilities. So, as a teachers, we are allowing them to use calculators, then speech synthesizer. So, when we say speech synthesizer, ito yung isang technology na ginagamit natin in which ita-type lang natin yung gusto nating sabihin, then yung mismong technology or yung mismo nasa technology yung magsasalita kung ano yung sinasabi mo. Since they are having this kind of disability na hindi sila nakakapagsalita ng klaro at ng diretso-diretso. So, in assessment also, we are allowing student to alternate form of assessment by allowing student to demonstrate learning through such things as portfolio, slide presentations, photographic essay, or tape interview. So, in the assessment, we are also allowing the students to demonstrate learning through presentation, through portfolio, also on pictures, or in tape interview. So, that is the other assistive technology that we can use for the student, to those having a learning disability, to come up interesting tidbits. Because many people with dyslexia, so when we say again dyslexia, it is a persons who having a learning disability that nahihirapan when it comes sa pagbabasa, pagsusulat, and they are also having a slow learning process. So, to those dyslexia are right-brained thinkers, so they are more artistic and creative, becoming poets, actors, inventors, and artists. So, to those person daw na merong dyslexia but right-brained, so they are more special, they are more extraordinary. So they are more creativity, they are more artistic than compared to a normal student if a person with dyslexia are in a right-brained. Then children with dyslexia use almost 5 times as much brain area as other children while doing a simple language task. Then in the past, doctor tried to prevent children with disabilities. So in the past daw, the doctors tried their best to avoid children with disabilities from being born. They are also tried to stop some people with disability from having children of their own. So also they are preventing, or they are stopping to those person who having disability to have a child to avoid learning disabilities. And now we will gonna proceed in emotional issue. So students with learning disabilities may suffer from emotional problem, depression, and or low self-esteem. They may cause students to withdraw from social interaction. So to those students who having emotional issue or experiencing emotional problem and depression, so they are those students who is not socially interacted to people. These some students may turn to drugs or alcohol for feeling of low self-esteem. So to those persons who having a dyslexia, they are also sila yung mga students or person na nagiging addict sa alcohol since they are having a low self-worth. Then teenager with dyslexia are more likely to think or to attempt suicide. So to those persons of having or experiencing dyslexia, so they are more prone to attempting doing suicide since they are having a low self-esteem. And other than young people to their age, so they are more prone to suicides because they are having learning disabilities, or they are having a dyslexia. And these are the two resources in our report. And that's all. Thank you for